Thanks for hanging out today. It's a pleasure to meet you. Let's talk about the movie. How did it come about for you, and what can people expect when they have a chance to watch?
Sure. I remember getting the script for Crush almost a year ago now, and I was really taken by Aja Campos, who is the character that I play, and it was so funny, and it's a coming of age rom com that it's queer but doesn't focus on a story of coming out, and I really took to that. I think it's important to have representation as well. So when I learned that the writers Casey Rackham and Kirsten King are also queer, and that our director Sammy Cohen is also queer, I was like, this is going to be so much fun. And it turned out that I myself am queer as well, so to play a queer character and the rest of the actors, many of them are also queer and out, like it just made a really great environment to work in, as well as like a really vibrant and joyful script to end up playing, because it was hilarious and we get to like make fun of ourselves, and that's really fun.
Yeah, it's great when you get to do a project like this because there are so many messages and so many different
Mhm.
themes and just a lot of different things that are to be taken from this. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fun
Yeah.
story on a very surface level, but on a visceral level, I think there's a lot of important messages for people to take, and really, again, as you mentioned, the importance of representation, I think is huge. And it's a fun movie too. I mean, you guys just do so well. I'm very curious, because you've been a part of so many different projects, of course, Crush being the most recent. What do you look for in a project when you are looking at things? Is there a criterion that you have as a storyteller, as an actor, that goes, okay, this is something that I really want to be a part of? Because I'm sure, there's a paradox of choice as a storyteller, and kind
Mm.
of like trying to figure out, hey, this is something that I really want to commit my time to.
Yeah, I consistently want to play women and characters that are different from myself, and that either unlock something new within kind of my heart, um or just something that I haven't experienced a lot of. And for AJ, I felt like she was really mysterious. Like she plays things close to her chest and isn't like, she plays it cool, which is something that I do not do. So in Crush, I was like, oh, this is so interesting. Someone who plays a crush close to their chest. Like if I like someone, if Auli'i likes someone, like you're gonna know. Like I'm a very outgoing, talkative person. So it was great to play AJ, and she's also a track star. I don't like running. She likes running. I took skateboarding lessons and I drove myself to the skate park and I practiced it for months and I fell a lot, and that like really bruised my ego and bruised my pride. But I enjoy doing that kind of homework because that's where AJ lives. You know, she's used to falling down and getting back up again. She's used to running track and not being the fastest one on that track and saying, I want to be the best. And it's those kind of exercises that take me out of my comfort zone. So that's why I like them.
Yeah, and I imagine as an actor and storyteller, it's important to kind of be pulled out of that as well,
Mm.
because you get to play a lot of different and unique characters. I'm very curious because, and I like to ask this question a lot, is what was it that interested you in becoming a storyteller? What was it that sort of drew you into becoming an actor?
It's a really good question. Um, I didn't think that I was going to be an actor, to be honest. I my first role, of course, was Moana. I received that when I was 14, and that was voiceover. And I was in my school theater and things like that, but I was more interested in microbiology and molecular cell biology. So I didn't think of this as like a real career, because I
Sure.
was like from Hawaii. I was like, who's gonna cast some 14-year-old in Hawaii? So my mom was also like, think practically. So I thought practically. But I don't know what drew me to acting. Maybe it's the truth of it all. Like when I think of the difference between voice acting and live action, voice acting is a character. Like you need to see my excitement through my voice and how exciting. But for acting with my face, it's almost about doing less. And I received a really great note from a past director of mine, Brett Allan, who said, if you think it, we'll see it. So instead of putting on and doing more to convey a message, instead what I feel acting is thinking so deeply within that character that suddenly you become the character. And that's the difference between acting, because you know when people are acting and living. So just trying to get better at living, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's great advice, I think, for anybody. I think we all have that goal, to
Yeah.
become better people and better human beings. And when I watch you in this, although you are playing a character, like I don't feel like you're acting, if that makes any sense. Like, have you ever watched anything and you go, high five virtually, this person is acting. And maybe sometimes that's kind of the idea, when they're performing and things like that. And they might be playing like a heightened version of themselves, or sort
Sure.
of like a character of themselves. Like I think of the Nick Cage movie that's just out, he's playing a version of himself. But this, you find yourself being drawn into it, and it's just spectacular. One last question or two here, and I love that answer, by the way, because I think that's important. Like just become better at who we are and leaving things better than when we found them. On a very visceral level, we've talked about a lot of different things about this amazing film Crush and just all of the byproducts that come from it. But is there one particular message or one particular thing that you would like the viewers to take away from, or the audience to take away from, when they watch this? Because again, it's a fantastic project all the way around for you and everybody involved.
Thank you. I hope that people who watch our film take away that first crushes are so strong, right? Tyler Alvarez, who plays Paige's best friend, says it really well in our trailer. It's like she looks like she's walking in slow motion. There are fireworks going off behind her. And that is what a crush feels like. But learning the difference between a crush and a first love is showing the vulnerable parts of yourself. And I think that's really important. And I think that portraying this love story while also being a queer love story is in its own way a little groundbreaking, because again, our film is not centered around a coming out story.
Right.
And queer characters are so much more than their sexuality, you know what I mean? So to watch these young women go through a crush is heartwarming, because we haven't really seen it before. And it's refreshing, and it's funny, and it's the rom-com. And it's queer. And it's queer, like just a little extra spice.
I love that. I definitely think, again, it's important and it's a lot of fun. You do a fantastic job. And of course, if you've never seen Moana, it's on Disney Plus. I mean, we watch it all the time in this household. And everything that you've done has been great, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Ali, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Thanks for having me.